back to the Brownie Chat. Another week, another episode.
Episode 36.
So, you may have noticed a third chair and a drink on the table. That isn't ours. This one's a bit of a special one. It's our first introduction to a guest.
Yeah.
And this guest is someone that has been very much in high demand. They have been requested from the public. And also they are a very big public figure, and I'll explain why.
And you may have seen them on my TikTok as well. So let's do a special drum roll.
Yeah, so 3, 2, 1. It's
hello everyone.
So bear in mind this is her first guest appearance, our first guest appearance, and her first appearance on the camera like this. She's very much known on TikTok for her antiques,
She's
her cooking, and actually she's got more followers than both of us. So that's actually quite but this is my mum,
my mother-in-law,
and we are the Brownie Chat. Welcome on the channel.
How are you feeling?
Thank you for inviting me on your podcast.
Well, you just had to come from one room to this room.
But still,
yes.
I am a bit shy. But
So go on now. Tell us a bit about yourself. And obviously we know who you are.
I'll tell again.
But honestly,
I'm Nafees Mum and I'm Aisha's mother-in-law.
So tell them, obviously you do TikTok, but it's not like everyone's TikTok is like. Just tell us a bit about yourself and
Well.
Do you want to say your name as well?
Yeah. My name is Halim Ali. And,
it's not an interview, Mum.
You can call her Auntie.
Yeah, so this is Auntie and Mum/Mum, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
on,
I quite enjoy going on social media like TikTok and Instagram and things like that. And I have been, you probably seen me with my Aisha and Nafees on TikTok as well.
Yeah.
And I do have my own simple TikTok
She's
as well.
already plugging her own TikTok. What is your TikTok? Just say to them if you want people to know, then yeah.
Yeah, my TikTok is Halim Ali.
Is it underscore or what's your?
I can't remember.
I'll put it in here.
Put her on your TikTok.
Yeah. So thanks for coming on and stuff, and obviously I have to be nice to you now. So.
It's my pleasure to come here.
No, actually, what's more interesting for us is, obviously, Mum hears us and watches our content and stuff, and she sees everything. But now you're actually sitting here. I know it's not really a massive change, but how do you feel? Is it different to what you imagined or think it would be like, or like?
No, I think that it's exactly the same. Obviously, however, I see you every day, at home. And that's how you are. This is real Nafees and this is real Aisha. I would say it's nothing like wherever they are here and they're not in real. They are exactly same. I always enjoy their company and stay with them and enjoy time spending with them. So
no one's gonna hurt you if you say anything bad about us.
No,
Yeah,
but I'll have to find something to say negative, but obviously because I've got positive stuff, and I'm really pleased with them, how they live, how they look after each other and love each other.
Who do you prefer, me or Nafees?
I'm just gonna. This is gonna become the Aisha and mother-in-law podcast. Okay, so I don't know if you caught us last episode. We asked a number of questions. Well, Aisha did, and she had a few, and then we didn't delve into the 3 other ones. So if you wanted, we can go through them 3 questions.
Yeah, should we just go through those
and then
we
we'll
can get
all
different opinions?
Take turns in answering them.
Okay. Because also it will be a different opinion as in our generation and then how Auntie thinks about these questions as well, because it would be slightly different. It might be different
Right.
how we might answer it. Okay, so I can't remember the questions, which ones we did last week. Actually, I'm going to ask your mum this one. We asked this last week, but I want to ask your mum this one. Okay, so what is one... Oh, no, not one. If there could be one or more animals that you wish could speak, what would they be and why? So any animal or insects that you wish that you could... You just want to find... So, for example, I said I would like to find... For wasps, not wasps, was it flies and mosquitoes? Because why the hell are you annoying us all the time? Yeah, so
So you
animal?
want to speak to them, and they understand, or the animals speak?
the animals
to
can
us?
speak.
Well, both, obviously,
Yeah,
if you
so
speak to them,
having
they...
a conversation with them.
Right. I would ask. I don't know really.
Yeah, it's
What
hard,
to
no?
say is hard.
Like parrot or like cat or dog or what? Like...
I prefer. I like cats, so I prefer cats
To have a
to
conversation
have a
with them.
conversation with.
And what would
yeah.
you, if they could speak, what would you ask them? Why so lazy?
No, some obviously are trained, but I would ask them why they, put behind the sofa, because I had once cat.
Yeah.
And I even trained it, and it had everything, where she should be going to toilet, but she was always choosing behind the sofas.
Oh my God.
And behind the TV where I hardly can go and
Yeah.
clean. So I would ask them why they do that.
And we could also ask the cat that comes in our garden. Why
Yeah,
don't you-
right, I think it's pregnant as well. It's sitting on top of the shed all the time.
Does that mean it's pregnant?
No, I'm just saying it looks
It
pregnant.
looks pregnant.
Oh, have you
yeah.
seen it?
Yeah, this
Oh, I've
black
not
one,
seen
it looks
it.
massive.
It is massive and it looks.
But
There's
yeah.
so many different cats that come on our drive, because when I drive...
I know, what I saw one playing with our bin on bin day as well. So,
Is it like looking... Is it...
I don't know.
Is it the brown one you've seen?
I've seen the
That's
black
really-
one on the shed.
Black and brown, both colours.
Like
but
stripes.
No,
No,
not
no.
stripes.
I've seen one that's got stripes, black and
Nice.
brown, like black and beige or
Yeah, but
stripes.
it's really no nice, but
Yeah.
obviously I've seen it so many times.
Okay, fair
So I
enough.
would.
Okay,
And
so
what's the
cat.
other one? So this one, so ask
Okay,
another,
so I'll do-
no, one that we haven't spoken about.
Okay, you have to explain. I don't know how to explain this, but what does financial manipulation look like to you? So how do you
Do you
understand?
know what that means, Mum?
You'll have to a little bit more explain.
Yeah.
So,
explain.
like using money to kind of
Get your way.
manipulate someone or get your own way, or like use it to kind of your own advantage. So what's
So
the
if you
question?
give
Bribing, in other words.
I guess you
Yeah,
could say
sometimes
financial.
people, yeah.
But that's
With
one
money.
form of it. Okay,
But-
let's take it in turns and
Okay, so
ask.
you go first then. So
So-
what does financial manipulation look like to you?
I guess
Oh, I
it's
think
like
press record.
it's kind of like I guess when you gaslight someone with gifts, like you make them feel special and stuff. You like buy them everything they want, but then you think that you're entitled to just treat them however you want. So like for example, you can say, for example, I bought you this necklace, and so why are you disrespecting me, or why are you being loud, or why are you doing this? So then they use that and be like, I bought you this, so how can you treat me like that? And they start like either
Yeah.
abusing them verbally or physically. But I think that's one form of it. I think the biggest form is probably gifts, because it's a sense of not just gifts, but doing something for someone and doing it for something in return. So it's like, well, I've been nice to you, or I've like bought you something in the house, so
But not even that. Sometimes.
or
some
even
people-
giving them money, for example.
But no, it could be also like some people abuse, like could be physically, emotionally, and then go out and buy them something.
But it
to-
depends, though. It depends. It can be used for good reason as well. Like if you've gifted a child something and you ask them to pray, or like
Yeah, in that
to
way.
Manipulation is
Quran, so-
such a broad word, because you think it's a negative thing, but you can manipulate a situation in a positive way.
Yeah, yeah.
So then you
But
say
I'm thinking
fi-
more negative. This
No, but
question is
you-
more of a negative.
no, but
Oh, okay.
it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't. No. It doesn't have to be. No.
So I didn't think of it like that.
I did as
I
well,
didn't-
positive
Yeah.
way is this, that if you want your child to
Achieve
for
something.
example behave, if he's not behaving or she's not behaving, so you can gift and treat
Yeah.
them, and later date you can say, oh look, I've gifted you for this,
For good behaviour.
and I want you to read namaz or do whatever
Yeah.
you want them to achieve something.
Because your dad did that to you, didn't
That's
he?
what I was just going to say. Dad did that with me and Badgie. He said he basically gave us like, I think £20-30. He said, look, if you read all your namazes in this week, to start with, I'll give you 20. I'll give you. Or I can't remember
Yeah,
however
it
much
was
it was.
£20. He
And
said.
it was, but obviously at that age, it was like very like big to us, and then it was financial manipulation because he like wanted,
But in a positive
but in
way.
a positive way. So
yeah.
he like instigated us to do something for a reward,
Yeah.
before obviously for a reward in a dunya. But obviously he's getting all the reward for us reading because he helped us get.
Especially Yasin Surah you memorized, and he was
And stuff
asking
like that,
you
yeah.
to
So
memorize, and then I'll gift you this and that.
Yeah.
So
And
it,
it's like-
could be positive way as well.
It's similar, like at school, like one parent said to that she was trying to get her child to have medication every day, but he didn't have it. So she goes, I even said to him, I'll give you £1 every day. Every time you take it, I'll give you £1. So that means by the end of the week, he gets £7 every time. But that it didn't work for them. But that is also like a...
But sometimes it can have a negative effect as well, because then
But what I was-
So
I was just going to say that what you said about abusing it and then gifting the person, sometimes it could be, or used to the other way around, they might abuse or emotionally, physically abuse a person and then go out, because they feel bad that they've done something, go out and buy...
or know they've done something wrong,
Yeah,
but
They
think,
go out and go,
like
I'm
that
really
film
sorry.
we watched.
I'm really sorry, here's some flowers or something like that.
Or not even, but some people that do that don't say sorry. They don't verbally say
I don't think that's
anything.
financial though, because financial is like, I don't know how to explain it.
Or like, for example,
But that's just money, isn't it? Like spending.
yeah, but that's what finance.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's also like, for example, say if there's a couple, and she doesn't pay any rent or anything. She lives at home, but he gives her money, or vice
Yeah.
versa, whatever way around it is. So then he's sent. It's all entitlement. So he thinks that he's entitled to get his way with everything. Now, obviously, she might or he might have a duty to do whatever's missing because he's financially doing stuff. But that doesn't mean that you can be like, well, I pay the rent, so you clean my shoes, for example. Or
Yeah, but I
something.
feel like especially in our culture, men who do think like that.
Yeah, that's why this could be positive and this could be negative way as well. So to whatever you want to gain from something, then you, like he's saying, that you do something bad and then afterwards you just gift them, or instead of saying sorry or
Talking about
it, you just give them gift and say think that it's all okay, but it's not all okay.
No.
Did you see this happen at all in any of your like experiences, or not even family, just like friends or some people you've
Heard
seen
stories.
heard stories like about this? So like, for example, they pay everything, but then expect them to you can just shout at them and be disrespectful and stuff.
Well, I can't name, but I have been listening, and I've read as well, and I've seen as well. I can say that people do wrong things, and then by giving them gift or buying stuff, they think that it's gonna be all okay. But you can't change someone who you hurt really badly, and then by giving them gift or buying some stuff, it's gonna make it okay. But it can't.
I think parents can do that as well to their children. They'll be like, really like badly shout them, because you can parent badly. That doesn't mean you can't make mistakes. But say for example, they know they've really like either hit their child or whatever, but then they go out and buy them like a PlayStation or something.
Oh yeah,
but
there's loads of.
But then when that child grows up, and say if they ever experience a form of disrespect from a partner or a friend, and their friend just gives them something, they'll be happy because that's all they know. They know that if you give me something, that means that it makes it all okay, because they're grown up to know that. But they don't know any different, so that's their like long-term effect from it.
And yes, it can be really, sit in their heads for rest of their life. If, for example, any parents does anything like that with their children and do, things, and then they think that, child's gonna forget and it's not gonna be remembered, but the child could be get damaged by
it's trauma, isn't it?
Yeah.
They can carry that on into their adult life.
And they might end up doing the same thing.
Same thing to their children.
Or
even
friends.
partner.
It's not even children, like friends. Like, they can be like...
have an
argument with them and really be rude, but then think that it's all okay if they just go out and buy them like a drink or something.
But it could be the other way as well, that if somebody's experienced, some child is experienced that from his or her parents, then they'll think that, how bad they had the feeling about that, then they won't do it to their child. They'll try to avoid that situation that, can come and hurt their child. So they will avoid it. But it could be that, like Nafees is saying, that, they can take...
You can go one or the other way.
With financial manipulation, we're associating that with gifts and stuff, but is there more so a way like financial manipulation, like keeping track of their their expenses and stuff, and making sure that
why do you spend that?
You only spend what I give you, and why should you need £1 more? Like, say for example, they want to buy a gift for themselves, and they're like, well, I gave you like £50. Where has that money gone? Even though they probably spent it on rent or whatever the bill or something. And
it's also, like you said, tracking their every move almost.
I think that's so...
Because that can be very damaging as well.
Yeah.
There's one thing of keeping, like, helping with budgeting and stuff. Like, there's no... I don't think there's anything wrong with asking, like, how much money you got left? Like, do you have enough for this or that? In a positive way, like, you can be like...
in a marriage,
Be like, oh, well, actually, I've noticed you spent so much this month on this. Like, come on, let's cut back now next month or not do that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, sometimes for them asking, as a parent, I would say that as parent, asking that much money you had, where you spent it, they're not just doing it for negative sake of it or to annoy them or anything. They just want them to be, benefiting from the good way and save that money to use it in,
later.
But obviously we've experienced that with us, where you've always been like, well, you've earned this much money, not specifics, but she's been like, where's this money gone, or where's... And obviously, but the difference, and I'll clear this up now, the difference is when you were younger, and say you did have the money I had, you didn't have access to half the things that we have. For like example, could you ever imagine at 17, 18, even if your mum and dad were like really like not strict and stuff, I don't think it was very like the common for people in your in that time to go on holidays or spend a day out in Lakeside, for example, or,
obviously that
thing
is
you
the
didn't have access to. So where
and
we
it's also
spend
the culture as well.
and the culture, so where we spend our money and what we've spent our money on, we might be wasting money, but to us it's like experiences and like I've earned an X amount of money. I have earned a lot of money in the past and saved a lot. But I've saved and then I've lived a bit of life, like where I've been on different holidays.
Well, I bet you we would say the same thing to our kids, that they'd be spending...
That's what Mum always said to me. You said, wait till you have kids, you'll be saying the same thing.
That's what I exactly
Because they would be spending, like going out every weekend, or even just buying Costa 5 times a week.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the only thing that, when parents see that, you've spending somewhere which you can avoid it, like you saying that Costa 5 times a week, it's no good. So you can save that money and can use it in different when you need it. That's the only reason parents stops you or have an eye on your earning or wherever you spend. Parents always don't do these things or say these things because of any wrong reason or to hurt you or anything.
Spending the money.
So if you say...
now I come and go, stop spending the money. Stop it.
No, but I think, again, that's financial literacy as well. Like, there's ways you say things and ways you can kind of help people. Because some people are so like, and they can take these habits on in their adult life where they spend £2, £3, £4 every day on certain things, like coffee or whatever. And then when they're older, they don't realise that that's actually not a good thing to do. Some people grow out of it, but some people take them little habits on afterwards and like will carry on.
Just checking the questions.
And I just checked the time, by the way. No, if it was recording, it's only 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But so like some people take them habits on, so that's financial. But then you say manipulation, but I guess it could be like, I just thought of a great thing. You know, financial manipulation happens from kids to their parents.
Yeah.
Right? No. Let me explain what I mean by that is. And for example, as kids, we want to buy we'll want to buy expensive things, and even though it's our own money, we'll still, and we've earned it ourselves, we'll still feel a sense of guilt, like, oh, we've spent so much money on something because it's so expensive. So maybe not me.
Yeah, you.
Me. We will like say to our parents or like family like, oh no, this was £20, and actually it was like £120. But then that becomes a massive problem when mum or dad says, oh, get me one of them too then. And now you've got to pretend like, oh no, that was the last one.
That was the last one, that's true. That's what the answer is. Oh, this was the last one.
I
sold out.
Yeah, so, but that is actually manipulation from, that's wrong, but if you really think about it. We shouldn't really lie about that, but I guess
because the reason why we did was because then we get a smack or something.
Yeah, because they'd be like, why are you spending your own money? That's what really...
Or the fear that they might ask us to return it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
But, I mean, I haven't really...
I do that, I've been me and Zach have done that so many times. And then a couple of years later, we've been like, by the way, Mum, it wasn't actually that much. It was actually this much.
I think, yeah. But then there's positives and negatives to that, because sometimes it's like, you just can't be asked with the hassle of them moaning at you for spending so much money, even though you just wanted it.
Yeah.
But obviously...
But have you actually done that?
No, do you know what I have?
What?
I haven't.
Telling me wrong prices.
I don't think of it. Mum, you've seen everything.
Really?
No, I don't think
she
he's
sees.
done it.
I tell her straight up how much things are. Like, I show it off that I've spent so much money on something.
Oh, okay.
So.
No, I have.
And because we haven't really always had money, so I'm like proud that where I bought something expensive.
Yeah.
And like I said it and stuff like.
He might tell me more price even instead of telling me less.
Yeah.
Just to make proud that I've earned as much and I've.
Because I do remember when I first earned one of my first paychecks I got. Obviously, I gave majority of it to you. Do you remember I gave you literally the whole thing? But I bought a Barber jacket and it was like 90 quid, and to me that was like massive. I was like 16 years old and I bought my own jacket and I was like, I only wore it once.
And also he gets excited and he says like, look Mom, I bought this for that one, so he gets really happy about it. And because I never said that, oh, why did you buy it so expensive? That's why he tells me.
Yeah.
That,
the only thing Mum moaned at me for was going out all the time in terms of food.
Yeah.
Like she'd be like, you spend so much money on food, like, and I guess we don't really do that now, to be honest. But
no, we're I don't think so.
But you used to do that a lot before marriage.
Like your dad said, before marriage. Now you're always home.
Going out with he used to go to see his friends and spend once or twice, 3-4 times in a week sometimes going, or once with one friend and second time with the other friend. And
it's not my fault.
Where are these friends now?
I still talk to them. Actually, I still talk to all the friends. I've had the same friends for years now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so that's financial manipulation, right? Okay.
Let's do one more question, I think.
Okay, I think this might be a good one. What is one thing you have learnt in this life that you would advise to younger people?
Shall I start or?
Yeah, you just start. Yeah.
One thing.
So just one thing. Don't go on like a tangent. Just one thing.
One thing I've learned, and I actually have to be, and I'm not actually just saying this because you're here, and we've actually just proved it with the financial stuff, is your parents do tend to know best. And to actually, like, years down the line, you'll realise they said that for a good reason, whether it was about money or whether it was about like...
Any advice? Any advice they give.
Any advice they give, like, for example, one thing I do regret is from a younger age, although I have, but is properly following my deen and stuff, and not just taking it for granted that, oh, mum's just saying or dad's just saying, because dad was a big advocate of reading namaz. Whatever happened, he'd always be like, read namaz or read Quran and read this. I do kind of feel, and it's not too late to do that either, but obviously a lot of people in our generation have that realisation quite later on in their years.
But I feel like how old are we? We're 28. Well, I'm nearly 28, you're not. But I mean, we're not actually that old.
We've
still got 50 years of our life.
I get that, but that's
sense.
still, but in essence, from like, I think the age of 12 where you should be reading that 16 years, we're repenting on now. We should have been reading that. So whether we're old or young or not, or a lot long left to live, like, on our nose.
But then I feel like, obviously, I know I get that, but say at the age of 12, we were being forced to read namaz or read this.
Yeah, do you know?
We would then just be doing it because we were being told, not because we want to do it.
But I think.
Now, I do it because I want to do it. I decide to wear the job because I want to do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'll get much more reward from that than doing it because I just have to do it and I'm not, oh, for God's sake.
I think what
Mum's
we will have learned, me and you, and people from our generation, is the way we teach our kids. Because obviously you've been taught what you know. And now we've seen so our generation has seen so many different ways of parenting, ways of teaching things, ways of learning things, which it's not your fault.
No,
you didn't experience.
I agree
so
with you.
when we have kids, and inshallah, if we have kids and stuff, I feel like we will approach the whole Islam thing completely different.
And also, the older generation, I feel, not necessarily just you, but just the older generation, mix culture with religion.
Yeah.
And then that really messes, because it says in Islam, but it doesn't say in Islam that we have to.
Whoever says that, they should know all about Islam and culture altogether themselves first.
Yeah, exactly.
To tell others that what to do and what not to do.
And I think who was it? Was it your mum? And I think we was talking to your. Oh no, I was talking to your dad and Uncle Shabir, basically at the. Well.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was talking to them and we were saying about how like the older imams aren't getting through to the kids, and like in the masjids there's no like actual youngsters stepping forward to be
the older generation
because the older generation aren't actually letting go. They're holding, and I'm not accounting for everyone, but what we've experienced, because there's no young speakers speaking at these masjids for the kids. They're not relating to them, so
the kids are not. Yeah.
The kids aren't actually really like understanding. Whereas I feel like if we had a 20-year-old imams, which you do get them because they become Hafiz at like 16, 17.
Yeah.
If we had a 20-year-old telling us that, look, this is the right way to go, we'd relate more, like the way they speak and stuff.
Get on their level.
Back in the day,
they know themselves that they are at the same generation, that how much they know and how what they actually want to know, and that's how they will teach others as well with their generation.
And they can not joke around, but they can have a laugh and be like.
You see it with so many young muftis and young guys now. I relate to them all because of the way they speak, the way they can relate to, because they know all the what's the word, like
terminologies.
Not terminologies. They know all the what's it called when you get lured into something? The temptations that we face, whether it's with like the white people culture and stuff like that, and non-Muslim culture and stuff, modern things. Yeah. They can understand that. And they can. I get it. You want to go out to that party, and they'll say whatever. And so I think for us, it's relating to being relatable to our children when we do teach them, and if we teach them, inshallah. So yeah, that's one thing that I would say.
Listen to your parents.
But listen, honestly, it is a big thing.
You won't believe it, but mine is the same as well, that whatever I learned from my parents, and when I was like young age and I wasn't listening, like, however the children do. But then later date I regretted, why didn't I listen to my parents? So I would advise to everyone that, no matter what age you are, but you need to listen to your parents. Parents never give you wrong advice, or they never think wrong things for you. They always want your benefit in each and everything, that how you be successful in your life and things like that. So you should always respect your parents and their ideas. Yeah, I can understand that, people say that five fingers no same. So same with parents as well. If they all not good, but they all know bad as well.
Yeah.
You have
And
good
also,
parents as well.
I guess
so,
like some people might say people they don't understand, but then it's like teaching them. Or
Do you know what?
speaking
That's
to them
our
calmly.
problem. That's our problem, is we get so agitated and so like, no, you're wrong and we're right. Whereas
You don't
there's a
understand.
bit of compromise you have to have, even as a youngster, like as a 10-year-old, as a 12-year-old, like, shut up, I'm learning now. But anyway, like even just sitting down with you, instead of shouting, no, mum, you don't understand, being like, well, actually, mum, we're around. No, just let me speak.
So we'll see from now on.
No, but listen. But actually, just saying to like your parents, on a serious note, like just saying like, look, no, the reason I want to do this is because of this, and you'll be like, well, no, you shouldn't because of this. But I think the issue that does lie is I know there's a sense of control parents should have, but as well, I don't think in Asian culture they don't let their kids make mistakes.
And I think also in our culture as well, that with the older generation, that they think they're right regardless. If they made a mistake, some, not all, because like my parents, if I say, look, no, I think this or whatever, then they'd be like, okay, or they start to come around and say like your mum.
No, with parents, they should let their children tell their opinion or their thoughts as
some
well.
people
and then,
don't.
But there are some.
Some people don't
Asian
even let
parents-
you speak, like, and you don't speak up,
Yeah,
or
it doesn't matter. I don't care what you
even
say.
even if there's still healthy arguments you can have, like even with parents, you can
I
still.
get for like children, like if they're 6, 7
Yeah,
years
that's
old.
different.
But
But
at our age, and then people
Yeah.
are still, your parents are still saying, no, your opinion
no,
doesn't matter.
it works with both ways.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Parents should listen to their children. Obviously, if your age or whatever, but they should listen to them. And the same,
Vice versa,
yeah, they should listen to their parents as well. They're not saying wrong things, so you both can sit together and talk about whatever the issue
Yeah.
is, and then go from there. That
Yeah.
who's saying and why saying
And
and what
sometimes
is
you
saying.
might never come to an agreement, and
Yeah.
you just have to say, okay, look, we both think differently.
Yeah.
We're not going to let that affect
and
our
Parents say
relationship.
according to their experience, and
Yeah.
children says according to their
One
experience.
thing
and
I
what
have to
they're
s-
learning.
one thing I have to say is that, especially Asian parents, I know that they don't want their kids to make mistakes. That's fine, absolutely fine. But one big thing is there's that sense of control then, because sometimes we need to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
need
I
to make
agree,
the
I
mistakes.
agree, but-
So even if you know for a fact that if I step
No, but if
no,
they
no, wait,
see,
wait.
if they 100% know,
No. Even if
I'm
you,
gonna say
even if you 100% know, and know that, say for example, I turn right at the end of this road. That means that it's going to take me 15 minutes longer. For example, that's just one example, like minuscule. Just let me just learn the hard way, and then I'll be like, oh, actually, I should have, and I'll come and apologise. But if you automatically tell me to do something and I'm arguing and you're arguing, it's going to make me want to, or make the child want to do that thing anyway. So that's where you've got...
That's where like communication
Communication is so important.
and having like a mature, even with like younger children.
I 100%, I hope I am like this. I'm saying this now because obviously it would be different when I have... But if we have children, I don't want them at 10 years old. I want them to feel like they could be an adult, that kind of thing, like that feeling that, oh, actually, they've been given responsibility.
That kind of
And we don't
encouragement
do that in
should-
our culture.
Yeah, that kind of encouragement should be
nowadays-
given.
Yeah, nowadays there is, because like us, our generation, they're speaking to their kids and teaching them and saying, look, if you feel angry, that's okay. You can be angry at me, but sometimes I'll be angry at you as well. You know, whatever.
But I don't think Asians can actually tolerate just being spoken rudely to. Sometimes that happens.
They feel insulted.
But that's kids though. Like you've got to realise as parents.
But that's why they want to teach you not to.
But it's because of what you've seen in your younger generation that you would never dare to even say shut up to your mum, or even like raise your voice. Obviously, I'm not saying we would. I would never say shut up to you, but I've never. I might raise my. I've never told mum to shut up. Never ever.
Yeah,
never.
shut up. No, you shut up.
But he does raise his voice, but he never said shut up or anything like that.
No, I've never said.
To be honest, for boy Nafees, they wasn't even allowed to say shut up to each other.
Yeah, we were like, mum and dad never let us.
No, I would
we used to say, I'm going to tell mum that you told me to shut up.
One time, Budgie said flip, sake. Once it was in Taylorford's, I don't know if you remember, and she got so told off for saying it. I don't know if you remember.
Because I don't, I didn't.
But now mum says
automatically
it.
they was so used to it, not saying it, they wasn't saying it to each other as well.
But now every other day, mum starts swearing all the time. F sick, for God's sake. Well, she doesn't. She knows. Check her TikTok.
You're only gonna find cooking on my TikTok.
Yeah, that's true.
Mum.
Whatever I hear from others, and I like that saying that I use, but otherwise cooking.
Yeah.
Cooking mostly.
Okay, you answer. Last
you both said parents. I would say, what was the question? One thing you've learned in this life. I think just to always be kind to others, because I feel like when I was younger, I used to get really angry. Not just I would never to my friends. I would really keep that in, but to family, if I was angry, I'd get angry. So I think just always, because it always comes back to you as well. Like, stop it.
Okay, so you do that same to me.
Nah,
let's see after today you're crying.
Yeah. I think just because also in Islam they say, don't they, don't bite your tongue. Don't bite your tongue. Bite your tongue if you have anything you want to say. Don't say at all. Just keep it to yourself. Or
no, yeah, carry on.
So I think, and also I teach this to my kids in school, that it doesn't matter if someone's unkind to you. You just go and tell an adult. Deal with it.
This is mine as well. That I would never be rude or any bad to or hurt anyone. Even though they done it to me.
Yeah.
You have experienced that I wouldn't do that
exactly.
to other person. Because I think that, if I am a good person, just by seeing other bad person, I don't want to be bad.
Doesn't
as
mean
well.
you have to be a bad
no,
person. Yeah.
If that person can't change to be bad, then, good person shouldn't be changing to bad.
So that's why for me it would be, especially because a lot of the younger, even in kids at 5 years old, they're shouting at their friends or calling them fat. Or
even if you allow them to do it to their friends, that's actually quite bad. That you let them just get away with that.
Yeah, and I've seen some kids at my class who are quite rude to their parents. I'm like, that's not how you speak to your mum.
Who are you to kind
But obviously I can't say that, but coming from a teacher, they do a lot of
You're a role model to them.
Yeah, a lot of children listen more to their teacher.
Yeah, parents do have this complaint, I can say, or, they say that if we tell them to do something, they won't do it. But if teachers say then they do it.
Yeah. And I have done a few times, like, no, that's not nice. You don't do that to your mum or whatever. And then the parents are going to go, see, Mrs. Actor's saying that's a way, So,
fair enough.
Because at that age, such a young age, why are they being rude to their parents or being rude to another person?
It's actually really funny we're saying all of this, even all the things that we've just mentioned.
It's been 40 minutes.
That's okay, we'll wrap it up. But what's funny is we really don't know how we'll be with our own kids. We could end up being the same, and we'll be like, actually, how can we control this?
It happens. I'll give you one example that I used to say that, when I used to see other parents shouting or raising their voice to their children, I used to say to myself, I would never ever raise my voice or shout at my children, but obviously we have to sometimes.
Sometimes.
No, I think obviously that happens though.
But
as in you get
I couldn't
angry.
believe it when I started, saying, shouting
Even like for example, like mum and dad arguing. For example, look, you can't lie. People argue all the time, whether it's small or big, or whatever. Couples argue, and obviously I'd say to myself, I don't want to ever argue. But now we argue. Like, so it's just things come in reverse, just little
they're
things.
like little things.
They're healthy
but like
then.
Big things, like for example, like slapping and
things like
that. I think there's alternative ways to punish a child or make them realise.
I used to take his if he used to not listen to me or do anything which I didn't like, so I used to take his PlayStation away or things like that.
But I was saying this the other day. I don't remember
grounded.
I don't remember ever actually being grounded though, because I always end up going out.
Grounded just for
games.
Playing games or going out as well. Like he used to play in park or somewhere with friends when he was little, and I used to ground him for not going out.
But I don't remember actually ever being grounded.
Only a few times it did happen.
And actually, can you clear one thing up? I don't ever remember having a bedtime. I don't think we've ever been told you have to sleep at 8, 9 o'clock or...
No, but you've been good. They've both been good that, they... Obviously, I don't know, maybe they used to take time to sleep, but they used to go on time in bed.
So you were sent to bed at 8
Sent to bed.
No, but we weren't sent...
It wasn't set time,
okay.
But they knew that this is the time now, and obviously we were living in flat, and the bedroom was
just there.
there. It's not that they have to go upstairs and sleep. So that's why they used to go in bedrooms and spend time there and then sleep. So
we had a beat, but we didn't have a bedtime.
Yeah.
No, they never had bedtime. But like I said, that they used to go in bedrooms and spend time there.
Yeah.
Before sleeping. So then they used to sleep. So.
Okay, let's wrap this up. I think it's been quite a bit of time, but thank you for coming on.
Thank you for coming on.
And it's actually been really insightful. I think people are going to be surprised that there's 3. They're actually probably going to be more so surprised that you agree with certain things that we've said, I think. But also, what I had a revelation, I remembered something I read, and this goes to everyone who ever insults in this way. There's actually written, these 3 things are haram.
Oh, you're telling us?
No,
okay,
no,
go.
I haven't told you. I saw this yesterday.
Okay, go.
These 3 things are haram. Calling someone short.
Yeah, no, I read this.
Calling someone ugly. I never call you. Are you joking? So calling someone short, calling someone ugly, and complaining about farts. I'm serious. No, seriously. I don't want to say specific like this is 100%, 1000%. But I've read this and there was a translation somewhere. Don't quote me on it specifically.
But they say for the short and ugly one is because Allah made you that way.
Allah made you that way, so insulting someone in that way you should never do. You should never insult their height or their looks.
What's the first
because it's natural. I'll Google it. I just wanted to mention the farts one because I did see it, but obviously.
I don't believe you.
No, I'm serious.
You made that one up.
No, I haven't. But yeah, saying short and like.
Yeah. Or calling someone like.
Or complaining about the beauty of someone.
But it's even like disability. That's like someone, anyone's got disabilities and what's wrong with them? Actually, there's nothing wrong with them. Allah made them that way.
Yeah, because God made them that way, and you complaining or saying wrong things, you're insulting.
Yeah. Anyway, this has been episode 35. Our special guest. 36, sorry. Our special guest, mother and mother-in-law and daughter and auntie and sister and cousin and all kinds of relationships to different people. So
I hope you enjoyed me listening.
She didn't complain. Did that hurt?
Shall I tell the truth?
No. Anyway, thanks for listening. Follow us at the Brownie Chat podcast. Find us on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram. Our socials will be on the screen, and obviously if you want to follow Mother on the socials, her TikTok will be on the screen too. And for now, this has been the Brownie Chat. To be continued. Peace out.
Continued.
I love it.